Hello, everybody. My name is Paulo Brasko, and in this video series, I'm going to explain about how you can connect your Raspberry Pi with your computer and we are going to use NetBeans to program in your computer and remotely access the Raspberry Pi such that you can deploy your program that you just created in NetBeans in your computer into the Raspberry Pi. And we are going to take the opportunity to discuss about Python Py4j library, and there are some examples. So we are going to learn about we are going to create some examples there in this video series. The goal of this video series is first to provide a step-by-step tutorial on how to set up a computer and a Raspberry Pi such that you can use it headless connection there, and how you can deploy a given code that, as I mentioned, developed by NetBeans in your computer to Raspberry Pi using what we call a remote platform feature in NetBeans. And this will avoid us to unnecessarily install NetBeans in the Raspberry Pi SD card. So it saves some memory there. And even we will not use the GitHub to transfer files from your computer to Raspberry Pi. I see a lot of people out there in the internet that does that, creates thinking in the computer and then uploads to the GitHub and then go to the Pi and downloads or clone to the Pi environment to transfer files. We are not going to do that. We're going to straight in NetBeans try to do this seamless, and I'm going to show you how to do that. This series also, as I mentioned before, we are going to discuss a little bit about Py4j. That is basically a Java library that allows us to develop Java programs for the Raspberry Pi. And mostly what we're going to do is a general purpose input-output GPIO functionality. So we're going to use those pins to maybe move like a motor or turn LED light on or off and things like that, depending on how it goes. So I'm going to incrementally put in more examples at the end of this series. Disclaimer, do not expect Hollywood style videos. I don't have any video editing capability in my computer, and think sometimes it's not going to be as good as it should be. My mic is a very cheap mic and things like that, but I try to deliver the information that you need to make the things work in your computer. All right, so that's one thing. The video series is for people like me that I spent multiple days trying to figure out. I got this Raspberry Pi. I found it. I had this, I bought it, I don't know, like many years ago. I play a little bit and never play anymore. And then now I doing a lot of Java code. Then I said, why not let me try to do Java programming in Raspberry Pi. And what I noticed is I spend like days and days trying to figure out things, going through forums and discussions and websites with the examples. And some examples are from the previous versions of Py4j that don't work anymore for the current Py4j. NetBeans has some issues with Raspberry Pi 2. So there is a lot of things that went wrong when I was in this journey. That took me like, I don't know, like 5 days to figure out most of the things that I have now. But now it's working. So this video series is more for those people that almost is trying to give up, like I was almost giving up. So this video series, I hope that will help you too. However, I might become another one of those hundreds of sites for you, meaning that my solution might not work for your current hardware that you have. So don't be frustrated about that. I know that it worked for me, and because it worked for me, I truly believe that if you are using like a Macintosh, you might have some difficulties that I'm not going to explain here because I'm a Windows person. but at least the directions that I'm giving here, probably you can use most of it in your Macintosh system or whatever might be wrong. And that's it. I will try to do a step-by-step. I hope it helps you in the sense that helped me. So I'm just spreading the word here. If you're watching this video series and you say, oh, Paulo, you could do something so much different, so much easier, please do so. I appreciate that if you can put your comments in the comment section. Just be nice. We are here. Everybody's human. Everybody makes mistakes. I'll make some mistakes here. And as I mentioned before, I don't have any editing capabilities. So there'll be things that might be wrong and I need to review it and do it again. But anyhow, if you have something that you wanted to add, that is a value added, please do so, because you're not only sharing with me, but you're sharing with everybody that is watching the video. So by all means, do that. I have no problem with that. I would really appreciate that. This video series can be subdivided into 3 main parts. The first part is going to be the setup of your Raspberry Pi itself, and we are going to go for the standard things that you need to do. This you can find this information everywhere in the internet. So what I'm doing is just putting together all these things in this series. So you don't need to go jump from page to another places, other YouTube videos, find pieces here and there. I'm trying to give you the whole puzzle here, of the pieces for the puzzle right in this video series. So the first one is, again, setting up the Raspberry Pi. So we are going to go through the step of formatting a micro SD card for your Raspberry Pi, and then setting up Raspberry Pi for headless use. So we are going to avoid using monitors and keyboards and mouse for the Raspberry Pi. We're going to use your laptop to connect to your Raspberry Pi directly. So we can use the mouse, keyboard, and monitor from your laptop. So we don't need this additional hardware. And then we are going to install this is mistake here, is OpenJDK. So it's not OpenJavaJDK, it's OpenJDK straight. That is the version that you should be using, not only in your computer, but in the Raspberry Pi, not just the Java JDK, it's an open JDK. Then we are going to install, or just check if it has been installed, the new versions of the operating system for Raspberry comes with this VNC server already installed in your machine. So we are just double checking if it's there, and if it's not, you can install for free. But we need that for doing the headless Raspberry connection with your computer. So we are going to use that. So we are going to talk about it a little bit. So this is the first part of the series. And just before I forget, what we're going to do is each video that I'm going to present, there will be multiple videos in this series, but I'm trying to do like 10 minutes every single video or close to it, so it doesn't get bored. And from the title, you can jump right to the position that you want to watch, some feature that you might want to review. You don't need to spend like an hour and a half to find a specific. You can go by the title. You would be able to find it quickly. Part 2 of this video series is the computer side. In my case, I'm going to use Windows 11. I don't have any Macintosh in my house. So everything that I'm going to show you is in Windows environment. First of all, we are going to get an application called Advanced IP Scanner. This will help us to identify the IP address of the Raspberry Pi. If you are using a headless, you don't have a monitor connected to your Raspberry itself. So we can use this software to do that. It's a free of charge too in the internet. Might be other possible softwares that do kind of the same thing. So if you want to put some comments in the suggestions in the comment lines, you can do too. I'm very fine with this. I got what I need from this application, so I'm going to present that one. Then we are going to install the VNC viewer application. Pay attention, it's not the server, it's the viewer. And when we get there, I'm going to explain again about this, but the server is in your Raspberry Pi. the viewer is going to be in your laptop, in your computer. And then we are going to see how we can connect your computer to the Raspberry Pi using this VNC viewer. We do not need the PuTTY here. I see a lot of people using PuTTY also, but you don't need to. You can go straight to the NC viewer if you want. And then we are going to install the OpenJDK in your computer. And again, be careful here. Don't use the Java JDK. I want you to use the OpenJDK. And there is a lot of explanation on the internet why you should use one against the other. I will let you do that, because if I start going deep in every single section here or topic, it's going to be very, very lengthy, these videos. And the purpose of these videos is not going in depth in many things here, all right? And then finally, we're going to install NetBeans, right? And we are going to set NetBeans to use Raspberry Pi remote platform. So we are going to create a remote platform that we are going to be able to develop codes in NetBeans in your computer. And when we run, it's going to transfer the file to the Raspberry Pi and run from your Raspberry Pi. So this is something that took me like a couple of days to get it right for many, many reasons. And depending on how I created these videos, I'm going to explain things that I got that was rocks in my way. What else? Eventually, we're going to create to check if this remote platform is working correctly. We are going to create a simple program that compiles in your computer and runs in the Raspberry Pi without needing the GitHub. And we are going to be sure if it's working or not. So this was really took me a long time to get this right. And I hope that you succeed based on the videos that I'm going to display here. All right. The third part is the Py4j installation and sample codes or codes. We're going to discuss about installing the Py4j. That is just a Java library that has a lot of functionality with the Raspberry Pi. So that's what we're going to do. So you can use this Py4j to kind of blink LEDs and things like that, how you connect with the GPIO of the Raspberry Pi using Java. So I have also Arduino, and Arduino use like a C++ language there. And I would like to do in Java and not Arduino. So that's the reason that I'm starting going for the Raspberry Pi, just to see if I can program in Java using NetBeans. That is an IDE that I like to use. And then from there, I was able to do all those things, even blinking an LED and things like that. And if time allows, I'm going to create other examples at the end of this video series, like LED strips or 8x8 LED matrix and things like that. This depends on my time. And what else? Are you ready? So let's start it. Thank you for coming here. And again, I feel free to comment if you have any suggestion for improvement or on any suggestions that you feel like I should do something different. I have no problem whatsoever with that. And thank you very much for now.